Jesus.
The mark of a truly successful creative person is that they're able to freely create without being controlled by outside pressures, whether that means the algorithm, the audience, or even their rent. As someone who climbed her way out of poverty purely through the arts, let me give you 8 tips on how to be creative and successful in the new year without betraying your integrity. Tip number 1. Vision without execution is a daydream. There's a powerful verse in the book of James that says, "Faith by itself, if it is not accompanied by action, is dead." In the same way, having a vision by itself without execution is just a daydream. Vision is powerful, but execution is where the real magic happens. Don't be afraid to execute on your dreams. Break down your goals into actionable steps and consistently execute them, one day at a time. One of my big dreams was to one day have my own art gallery because I had always loved fine arts. But I talked myself out of it for years because I didn't think I was good enough and that no one would care. Well, this year, I decided to prove my inner critic wrong by hosting my first art gallery show for my friends and family, featuring artworks that were inspired by my own book, Forever Home. Nearly 100 people showed up. The event was so wholesome and inspiring, and people genuinely left feeling even better than when they first came. I'll show you the whole recap of my art gallery event in my next video. I hope you'll be inspired. Tip number 2, community, not competition. While pursuing your own path of creativity, be careful not to fall into the trap of comparison. The shiny success that someone else has might not actually be what you want for yourself. For example, there was a time when I really wanted to become a big CEO of my own company just because I thought that was the ultimate picture of success for a social media influencer. I dreamt of having my own beautiful campus and being surrounded by brilliant, like-minded creatives. Doesn't it all sound so amazing? However, it wasn't until this year that I realized that I didn't actually want to be a CEO at all. I wanted all of the fun, idealistic parts without considering what a CEO's lifestyle might look like. All the sacrifices that they have to make in order to keep their company growing. I can now confidently say that this is no longer a dream of mine. If you find yourself comparing your life to others, repeat this mantra in your head. Community, not competition. Let these successful people inspire you and view them as part of your online community, rather than those whom you have to constantly compare yourself to and compete with. We go much further in our pursuit of an authentic, creative life when we expand our community rather than constantly trying to outrun one another. You can also seek partnerships and collaborations with others that align with your values and contribute positively to your health or business. Collaboration can lead to exponential growth. Speaking of positive collaborations, this video is a collab between me and the furniture company Cheetah. Their products are excellently designed and crafted using premium materials that are certified non-toxic. I'm unboxing their elven leather recliner and ottoman, which is honestly the most comfortable recliner I've ever owned. It has an adjustable headrest for ultimate comfort, can swivel with ease, and there's a double-layered foam back for maximum relaxation. John fell asleep for an hour the very first night he tried out this recliner. We might get another one for his office because it's pretty incredible. There's back support, head support, and the 4-pronged metal base creates stability for any position you want to lay in. There are also a variety of different color and fabric options to choose from, so it would look amazing with just about any home design style. You can check out their website for more. I'll leave the link in my video description, along with a 20% off discount code that you can apply to your entire order. It's always better to invest in high-quality pieces that last for decades rather than trendy furniture that'll go out of style in a year. I hope you enjoy this recliner and the rest of the cheetah collection with the 20% off discount code in my video description. Now, tip number 3, embrace failure as a stepping stone. Remember that failure is not the end. It's a lesson. Even your creative superheroes, the people who inspired you to pursue a life of creativity, most likely sucked at their craft when they first started. Not to mention, they 100% experienced heart-wrenching setbacks along the way. Setbacks are a part of the process. You might look at my page and think that I have a green thumb from all the plants in my home, for example, but you won't believe the sheer amount of poor plant babies that had to die along the way for me to finally learn which ones I can manage and which ones I can't. You see, you will develop resilience when you internalize the fact that every setback is an opportunity to learn, adapt, and come back even stronger. Embrace failure as a crucial part of the journey. Otherwise, how can you become better? Tip number 4, create an affirmations gallery wall. When you put yourself out there, you're bound to be criticized. But a good way to remind yourself of your purpose and values is to create an affirmations gallery wall. All you have to do is go thrifting for some beautiful prints that resonate with you, and then paint or write over it with quotes that keep you on the right path. I'm choosing some of my favorite quotes from my book, Forever Home. I poured out all of my most honest stories and transferable wisdom into this book in hopes that it could help guide people on their path towards healing. Little did I know, I would refer back to it often to keep myself accountable as well. If you're in need of some practical guidance on how to embark on your journey of healing, check out my book in my description box. You don't even have to be an avid reader to enjoy it because I recorded the audiobook version as well. I hope you enjoy all of the life-giving resources in Forever Home. Tip number 5, pivot when necessary. Being adaptable is a superpower. If a strategy isn't yielding results or a particular pursuit isn't serving you, be willing to pivot. For example, I used to paint for people as a way to make side money while I went to school. I loved painting and inspiring people, so I thought that this would be the perfect side hustle that could perhaps turn into something bigger in the future. The more commissions I took, however, the more burnt out I became. I started hating painting because it no longer felt life-giving to me, but rather a chore and a way to make money. I decided to pivot until I found a passion that I didn't mind turning into a career, and it happened to be writing. Now I write professionally as an author and as a YouTube creator, and this is the one skill I picked up that remains untainted by the need to make money. Painting, on the other hand, is protected as a hobby, so I can still enjoy it to the fullest. You see, this kind of knowledge can only happen when you experiment with different skills and talents. You might find out that you hate doing it as a career, even though you love it as a hobby. Challenge yourself to do new things and pick up new skills, even if it's outside of your comfort zone, so that you can experiment with what works with your temperament the most. Tip number 6, build a brand around authenticity. At the beginning of every creative pursuit, you're faced with a very important question. What do you stand for? If you answer this question earlier on, you'll have a clearer purpose and vision to keep you grounded when naysayers, dry seasons, and setbacks come your way. I stayed true to my vision of sharing my faith with my audience through all types of creative mediums, and it paid off. Most of my audience could sense my authenticity, regardless of whether or not they're Christian, because they can see that I share the things that genuinely inspire me and make me feel alive. My faith permeates everything that I create. Even the jumpsuits and sweaters from my shop, thehookahshop.com, have positive reminders of God's love for you when you wear them. Whether in your personal life or business endeavors, authenticity builds trust. Craft a genuine brand that reflects your values, and trust that your authenticity will attract the audience that's right for you. Tip number 7, investment in health is an investment in wealth. You know, it's physiologically impossible for you to be your most creative self if you're exhausted or in constant fight or flight. The part of your brain that allows you to be creative, your frontal lobe, literally shuts down when it's in survival mode. So be sure to take care of your body and mind. Prioritize your health, as it directly impacts your ability to make great art and leave behind a legacy of success. Take your vitamins, drink your water, and don't ever feel bad for making time for rest. Creativity comes from a well-rested brain. Tip number 8, make a dopamine menu. I learned this tool from Jessica's channel at How to ADHD and thought that it was brilliant. A dopamine menu is a list of activities that bring you happiness or gives your brain a natural dopamine boost. It consists of entrees, appetizers, desserts, and specials. Entrees would include any higher commitment activity that actually helps you feel better, such as going for a hike, prayer and reflection, or practicing your hobbies. Appetizers are quick activities that give you a mood boost without sucking you in, such as getting up and stretching every hour, listening to your favorite song, and going for a walk. Desserts are activities that help you feel better in the short term but would have adverse effects if you indulge in them, such as scrolling on social media, sleeping in, eating junk food. And specials are activities that you save up for. They should be treats for the soul, like a tropical vacation, a theme park visit, or a nice dinner with your loved ones. Whenever you feel yourself burning out, refer to your dopamine menu for ideas on how to fill your tank again. You are a better creator when you operate from a full tank. If you found this video valuable, please drop a heart in the comments and share it with your friends. For more practical insight on how to live an abundant life, check out my new book called Forever Home. A reader named Christiana said, "This book is thoughtful and beautiful. I began crying just a few pages into the book because it had already moved something in my soul." Another reader named Jennifer said, "She skillfully combines personal stories, psychological studies, and biblical truths into a magnificent tapestry of wisdom. Highly recommend." You can find the link to my book, journal, and everything else in my video description below. Check out my cozy Christmas home tour next, and I'll see you again soon.